now, I would like to invite Mayor Providence, Jorge Elorza, to give us a few words.
All right. Thank you, Francisco. I want to begin by recognizing Francisco and everybody at the Avenue Concept. I want to give a shout out to Yarrow Thorne, who's been such a big advocate and proponent of public art and lighting up our city in new and unexpected ways. So can we have a big round of applause for the entire Avenue Concept team and for all that you've done to bring things like this to our city. I want to add my voice to the chorus and recognize Garden of Journey, our muralist, our artist here today. It really is an honor and a pleasure to have you here today. And this is something that we're going to celebrate and enjoy for a long time to come. So thank you, Garden of Journey. I want to recognize my colleague in office, John Goncalves. Great to have you here. Another sort of feather in the cap of Ward 1. So great to have you, and you're always supportive of the arts. And talk about supportive of the arts, we got like the best director of arts, culture, tourism of any city in all of New England, Stephanie Fortunato. So thank you, Stephanie, for being there to advocate for the arts within my team and throughout the city every day. And just thank you to the entire community that came out today to celebrate this, because it really is something worth celebrating. So we are Providence, Rhode Island. We are the creative capital. So in order to call yourself the creative capital, you gotta actually walk the walk. And the reason why we support the arts so much is for a lot of different ways. The first is that, we're living in a moment right now where the forces that divide us and pull us apart are about as strong as they've been in at least any of our lifetimes here today. And so what are going to be those forces that bring us together? I truly believe that there is no powerful force that brings people from different worlds, perspectives, cultures, and neighborhoods together than the arts. It might be the visual arts, the performing arts, any kind of arts. Nothing brings people together like the creative community. And so that's why it's important for us to celebrate these things and to invest in it. But I also think it's important to just celebrate who we are. I think it's no coincidence that a city that is the creative capital is also very proud to call itself a sanctuary city. I mean, think about that. Now, artists sort of like in their DNA, they're open to new ways of thinking. They're open to new ideas and perspectives, always open to new people. That is what the art does. And so it's no surprise and no secret that we open our arms to the rest of the world and invite people in. So our artist today is from North Carolina, is that correct? We've also invited artists from other places in the United States. I remember this was about 2016, right after our previous president had been elected, and there was a Muslim ban that went into effect. While some of the country was cheering on the exclusion of Muslims from our country, what we did here in Providence is we actually welcomed the first Syrian family with open arms, and a picture of the first Syrian family to come to the United States actually hung a few buildings down in about a 30-foot portrait of them. And we had them there for the press conference, and I think that's about as clear a sign as it gets that we're a welcoming community. And this is just the ways that not only a welcomeness in terms of immigration and other folks, and an openness to seeing the world in different ways that the art provides, they just come together perfectly. And so, that's who we are, and we're going to continue to celebrate it. For all of those reasons, we continue to celebrate the arts and invest in them. Last but not least, I want to share with you all that in the city, going back to I believe the 1980s, there's been an ordinance on the books that actually requires the city to spend 1% of all infrastructure spending on public arts. This ordinance, this law goes back to the 1980s. So you may be asking, well, where is all this public art? The answer is that it's nowhere to be found. Even though the law was on the books, it had never actually been applied. So given the work of Stephanie and in conversations that we had, we unearthed this statue, brought it to light, and we made sure that now that the city is investing in infrastructure at a large scale, that we're setting aside that investment for public art, and we are in the process of making perhaps the most significant investment in a public art sculpture that the city has made in, I want to say ever, but at least a very, very long time. And it's happening as we speak. So thank you everybody in our creative community and our creative capital for celebrating and recognizing the arts, and for always finding ways to bring us together to celebrate it. So thank you all so much, everybody. Now it is my honor and pleasure. I'm going to ask Garden of Journey to please join me up here at the podium. Would you mind coming up? On behalf of all the residents of the city of Providence, I want to recognize Garden of Journey, Georgie Nakima, and I do hereby confer this citation upon you in recognition of your creativity and artistry on behalf of our whole city. I'm joined by our colleagues, friends, and people of Providence in wishing you the best of luck, as well as success in your career, and know that we are always going to enjoy your work here in our city. Given under the seal of the Mayor of the City of Providence this 18th day of September 2021, I present to Garden of Journey.